All right, guys. Good evening. Glad to be here. I'm a coach with Alex Lorenzo. I'm part of his FS group, his Fundamental Secrets group. I'm just going to go over some market conditions today. Feel free if you want to go ahead and follow me over here on Twitter at This Amazing. My Twitter handle is ThisIsAmazing5. And usually I'm updating that information on there pretty often. I also am updating the FS group. I update the FS group before I update anybody. And that's Alex's group that he kind of shows people how to do things, and he basically goes through technical analysis. It's like a full fundamentals group. It's kind of a teach you how to fish versus giving you a fish. And then on top of that, we also kind of assist with fish, if need be. And, while you're trying to learn how to fish, we obviously want to keep you alive, right? In other words, it's a joke. This is my channel over here. If you guys could, like, when you stop by, to definitely try and leave a like and a thumbs up. Helps the channel. If you can comment, that would be amazing. Comments help the algorithm. It would really help me out a lot. I'm obviously a small YouTuber. I don't get any type of money for this. YouTube doesn't monetize people of my size. I'm just here to kind of give you guys market conditions and tell you what's going on within the market. I also have information on my drop downs typically on my videos, so you can check those out as far as like where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm looking at, and so on and so forth. So I posted some market conditions earlier today. I'll go through some of those as far as like what I think. Obviously, BTC is in a downtrend. Everybody should know this at this point. We got a blood diamond on a daily today. Last time we got a blood diamond on a daily, we were looking at a pretty significant fall here. I would say it's not so much here because this ended up rebounding into a bull market. But please, please, please don't mistake this for a bull market. What we have going on right now is not the same thing, right? These are rear backs into a bull market, right? So it's a reactionary pull to a reactionary push. Right now we're just getting dump, reactionary push, dump, reactionary push, and that's what's going on right now, right? They're two different things, right? These are pullbacks to slingshots. These are slingshots to pullbacks, right? So we need to be really careful when we're trying to identify the way the market is trending. This is not a bull run. I know you're hearing that from every YouTuber. Oh, look, institutions jumping in. Hey, all this money's here. Look, see that candle? That candle went up, 15% in 1 minute, and it was one candle. It happens, man. It's FOMO. FOMO is real. FOMO is real. Even for retailers, even for whales, they will FOMO in. But the smart money right now is sitting on the side. They're not really talking about, can I enter to make more money? Basically, what they're doing is they're setting up strategic traps. It's just, bull trap after bull trap all the way down. On top of that, they're trying to bear trap some people that are greedy and try and move in too quickly, right? You're trying to not grab these things when they're at their peak or when they're at their bottom, right? We should be looking to take advantage from the tops to the bottoms. I mean, if you're leveraging, you should be looking for a top, and then you should be looking to exit near a bottom, not at the bottom, right? They're two different things. Like trying to exit at the bottom, I think is not a safe thing to try and do. Or where you think the bottom is. Trying to exit early, if you're on a leverage trade, is the safest thing you can do. It'll save you money. Same thing when you're leveraging up. Okay, rebounding, right? So market right now is in a downtrend, right? This line is down, this line is down. This is the overall market right now. This was the market, right? So we basically run a line from here to here, and that was our drop. And then from our drop, we end up angling down again, right? So it's down into a down. This is the way the market is trending. Don't let anybody tell you different. If something happens and we miraculously break out of this, awesome. At the end of the day, we break to the upside of this channel, I'm still not bullish until we break to a certain position, right? There's so many roadblocks on the way up that, the possibility of actually being able to come out of this, it's going to be very difficult, right? Again, I'm a bull just like you guys. Please don't mistake my information for I'm just fudding or I'm just doing this or that. I have no reason to be here fudding. I don't make any money from doing this. I'm just basically giving you guys the information, okay? So resistance there, resistance there, resistance there, there. It's going to be continual all the way up, and we can definitely expect these supports to become resistances too. Like to think that this thing's just going to push, I don't think is rational in a sense. We should be very cautious right now in the market and look to take advantage of overall market, right? So there are some dead zones, kind of, not really. There's also some CME gaps over here, which I didn't have the information pulled up for when I did this video, but I think they're like right in here. I think there's a CME gap that needs to be filled and has not been filled, right? So there are CME gaps on the way down. These are basically just gaps that kind of, came up and pushed to a certain position and were never recovered as far as the push, right? So whenever there's no type of retrace or anything like that, it creates these scenarios, and then you have to come back and typically fill them. Do I think we'll come back and we'll fill some of these smaller ones? No, I do not. I don't think we'll come back and fill these 13Ks, 10Ks. I think the bottom's close to 10, or not 10. Sorry, closer to 20. We can definitely dip a little lower, but I think that's more of the realistic situation. So looking at this, as far as the movement here, we discussed over here, 16%. The thing is these dips are much more than that, right? So we got a 9, 1840, 2180. So I pulled these from the top of the diamonds to the bottoms, right? Not even the top of the runs. Top of the diamond to bottom, top of the diamond to the bottom. Right here, top of the diamond. If we were to say this were to match these, right? So small increase. We'll say this one increases again, and we're not even getting anything crazy, right? We're getting a 23, or that's 18% right here, right? 18%. If I were to come down 23, we'd be right in our zone, right? So if we're looking for 23 from current position, or no, sorry, from top of blood diamond. There we go. That's why I was messing up. All right, 23 right there. Yep, perfect. All right, so if I were to say that we were going 23, this is where we would land. Do I think we'll land there? I think we'll land deeper. Why do I think we'll land deeper? Well, we have to look at the position of the market, right? So we get rid of this. We'll leave that there. That's where we'll be landing. Really, this landing is on the reason I think it's deeper is because that's kind of the support right there for this order block, right? So that would technically bring us to 26.5 right there. But here's the issue with this. There's no real support in here, right? If we look at it on a daily, right here, there's really no support here. Where's the support? Right here. So that support, and then from there we can kind of see where we're moving up, right? So the only real support is right here. We kind of should just fall right through here. We break through. That's what a lot of people are looking forward to. If we break down to the bottom of here, we can hold at 27, and that will be where we held here and we supported here. So this right here became a decent support on the drop because it came down and hit right in this position, right? And the reason that was because we had the red candle here. So really, we can probably eliminate this one. And these are our 3 positions that I'm seeing as far as a strong position, right? If we look at order blocks and order blocks to be filled, these would be those positions. In here, we're looking at, not really fulfilling that scenario. So I think we break down far. This is kind of my position as far as where BTC is heading. Again, blood diamond on the daily. If you look here, this is the only place we've got a blood diamond. Look, since the tops, right? Since the tops. The only place we broke off from a blood diamond here was back here in September before the takeoff, right? And I think this blood diamond signifies the drop down, the market drop. Whales are fighting this price. They do not want people to get BTC at 20K. It creates more competition for them, right, at the end of the day. That's basically all that I'm seeing happening. It's not really a scenario of, is the market going up or is it going down? It's going down. We come over here to the chart. I fibbed from here to here, and then rolled it back to our position here, our last candle, right before the blood diamond. And then basically these are kind of the support positions. You can see right here, it's doing pretty well as far as support right here, 32. I'm looking for a breakdown to possibly 30-ish, right? So good support bounce position. I just left these in here just so you can kind of know where we're going to kind of stop on the way down. And then I think we break down this 29. Either 29 will become support, or this 26 to 23 will become support. So we have to kind of watch that drop and see where that lands. Does this mean that daily is going to run all the way down here? No, not necessarily. We can easily come down to 29, bounce back up, hit 33, as our top, because we're gonna get stomped out before we end up coming back up to try and meet this blood diamond again, and then we're gonna come back down again further, right? That's basically all that's gonna happen. Even if we do a bounce up, we're not bull marketing up from here. If anything, we recover from here, we're gonna be rolling the floor for the most part. I would say, or above the floor as well. We don't necessarily have to go all the way down to the floor. Like now we're seeing the floor around 20K. I'll show that later. But you don't necessarily have to go down to the floor. It's times in the past it's floated over it. Left, 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 right, 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 right. So I got our SMS position as far as where we should SMS. We should bounce up right here. So we break down to this position. I have that set around 37.90, right? 37.90. We should catch a bounce. We'll also kind of get some support around 32.4. 458 right there. So we'll get some support off of previous resistance / support, and it'll be also support for here, even though this one right here is kind of the one for here, and this one right here is kind of the one for here. You can see they're just kind of upward angle, right? I don't think this will hold long. So we'll break down to here, and then we'll kind of start breaking down, and you can see right here I've kind of set price target zones. So you notice right here I angled this. I angled this because we can bounce here, we can bounce here, we can bounce here, or we can bounce here. We can bounce pretty much anywhere within this market. If we look at the RSI, RSI was peaking, came up, got rejected out to 50, didn't even quite make it to it, and now it's kind of veering down, right? Like it wants to just fall over at this point. Money flow is starting to pick up a little bit. I'm noticing that. So money flow may try to pick up to try and add pressure to the downside of the RSI, and that may help hold it, and that's how these holds kind of happen. But outside of that, I don't see this kind of pushing through. We break down, anywhere's in the zone below 27 to 24. I pretty much call that a wave 5 completion. So I've talked about wave 5 in my previous video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As far as our impulse is down. So our wave 5 is here, and I'll call that good for the wave 5. Potential bounce off wave 5. Wave 5, we should have a pretty decent bounce, and I think we'll get a reactionary market push up, and that'll be kind of what we're looking for. BTC is breaking down right now as we're talking to, by the way. So here we go. BTC should find support at 32.53. All right, so outside of that, moving to the market conditions. Bitcoin dominance. Look at dominance falling back for the day, right? What does dominance mean? Dominance means that nobody's interested in Bitcoin. Wink, wink. I know everybody's interested in Bitcoin. It just means that the interest in Bitcoin is dying down. So does that mean like overall? What does that mean? It means financially, right? So people are pulling out of Bitcoin and they're potentially moving into alts or something else, but basically the alts have more strength than Bitcoin. That's how Bitcoin ends up losing dominance. What can be considered an alt? Well, a stable coin can be considered an alt, right? So if a stable coin is considered an alt, these people are probably rotating into stable coins, sitting on the sidelines and waiting for this thing just to happen. So keep that in mind too. So over here, glass nodes, we got the new pool, right? We're coming down, up, up, over, and you can see right here, we're starting to roll over now on the new pool. This basically just, it's showing our euphoric state, our belief in denial. This is where people are like, oh no, there's no way it could drop right here. Belief in denial. You like that? That's basically glass node right here. It's basically telling people like, you have to be a realist with yourself. You have to be a realist in the market. This is what the market is doing. I'm not forcing anything. I'm not, making up anything. I'm showing you the charts. I'm showing you what I'm seeing on the charts. And it's just a matter of you looking at it. And if you want to believe it, believe it. If not, then just, then that's what it is at the end of the day. Euphoria and greed. This is where we were. This signifies the top. Okay, this signifies the top. Then we'll move into optimism and anxiety once we break down to that position, and then capitulation. Right? I think that's much lower levels than where we're at. I think we'll break down to those zones though. Over here, right here, mining hash is nosediving. Look. Okay, well, it's nosediving here, and it kind of veered off a little bit. Now it's a little bit curving over. It's still going down, guys. Like hash rate is not improved. I don't know. Every comment I see everywhere, oh, hash rate's improving. You guys don't know what you're talking about. Miners moving isn't going to do anything. The hash rate's great. Does that look like hash rate's good? This is Glassnodes, by the way. This is very expensive software to use, and it's basically showing us, hey, Glassnodes is going down. By the way, this is supplied by Alex. Alex is the one who pays for this. And we get to use it as coaches to kind of signify the market and tell our our group, kind of what's going on, and they get a really good insight on that. Over here, we're looking at basically dumping. This is miners, by the way, just miners. Other holders and stuff like that have kind of improved, but miners are still releasing their wrath, right? Right over here is kind of where they're at. We can see they dialed up and kind of backed off, and then they started shoving down harder. And that's what we're seeing right now. They're kind of adding to this, right? Miners are dumping. Why are miners dumping? They're trying to accumulate money. Why are they trying to accumulate money? Because they have to move from China, right? They have to move all their equipment. What happens when you're trying to move? It means your equipment is not working anymore. It's down until you get relocated. They got to pay for that. And until they get this equipment up and running, they have no income. So they have to create income. How do they create income? They create income by selling their Bitcoin, selling their other coins. So this is just how things happen. It's how things work in the real world. 49.73 longs, 50.27 shorts. This is basically just signifying that we're kind of in the middle as far as the market on longs and shorts. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. We can see right here, shorts are way down if you look at the overall. And pretty much the success rate has been on, or not shorts, sorry, longs. The success rate has been on shorts. We look over here, we look at the fear and greed meter, 21, not hard to signify or understand. It's saying extreme fear. The market is scared. What happens when the market is scared? Do they buy? No, the market does not buy when they're scared. Smart money does. I will. I'll buy when I think there's bottom. But other people, they wait on the sidelines until it's like halfway up, and then they're already buying middles and tops and everything. Crypto meter right here. We can see right here, look at selling pressure. It's pretty heavy, right? We're trending down toward the bearish side. Bitcoin, as far as our averages, our Bitcoin price, look at the price and look at the volume. The volume is just dying on Bitcoin. It does not have the volume it needs to keep pushing. This is something people got to understand. Like, you see one big green whip, that doesn't mean that that Bitcoin's turning around. It's just somebody just bought in a position, and they market bought, right? They didn't buy in at a limit. They bought in at a market buy. Especially that one candle we saw the other day where it's like just straight up right here, wrecked, right? Push straight up. Stop the flow. I think stop the flow will still be fine. Yes, we're under, but we're not under, right? We can always do this and then roll back up. Just come down and roll back up, and that'll be our bounce, right? Reactionary bounce on the bottom when we come to hitting the floor, and then we fall all the way down again, and that's where we land here, right? So reactionary bounce, pull up above, pull down, and land and roll across, just like we have in the past. That's what we're seeing. I think that's going to happen with the stop the flow. A lot of people are not looking at this as a possibility because we're under, right? We've ran under before. This isn't the first time. So for us to come back up and recover above, it's definitely possible. Keep that in mind. Outside of that, that's currently what I'm seeing for market conditions. Again, lots of resistances on the way up. We have to keep this in mind when we're looking at it, at the market, and trying to read it and saying, hey, is the market going to be able to recover? There's always a possibility, but there's a lot of blocks on the way up, right? We have to consider that. This could be a long road to push back up. I think a lot of people are considering that right now. That's why we're seeing the market kind of tilt down. We're seeing the market kind of, make its decision on what it wants to do. And I think the market has made its decision on this drop, right? So we attempted to recover here, and this was kind of our position where we could have recovered. But the market decided it did not want to do that, and we just fell over. To recover this much it's almost too much, right? People need to really consider that. We look right here at the rainbow. Turn on the rainbow right here. We're much closer to here than we are to here. So we have to keep that in mind too, especially once we break down here. We're going to be really close to this floor. But we can look in the past, kind of like what I was talking about earlier, where Bitcoin doesn't always necessarily have to hit the floor. It can roll over it, right? It doesn't have to go onto the floor. We can very easily come down to a certain position, be comfortable with that, and then Bitcoin can just kind of roll across the floor, right? Not really the floor, but roll down. This is current market conditions that I'm seeing right now. These are things that you should keep in mind. Hopefully everybody makes money. We have to also consider, our drop positions, right? So if we drop here where we're talking about as far as targets, from where it's at right now, say we hit 27 or 29, 11% more Bitcoin. If you have one Bitcoin, that's 1.11 Bitcoin. Let's say we hit 27. That's 15% Bitcoin. That's 1.15 Bitcoin if you have one Bitcoin. If we break all the way down here to 23, that's 27% Bitcoin. That's over a quarter of Bitcoin, right? Next bull market, we hit 100K. What's a quarter of Bitcoin? That's going to be, a significant amount. It's going to be $27,000 on top of the original 100K that you have. So now you have $127,000, right? So we have to keep that in mind. Like, we're trying to accumulate coin on the one side, and we're looking for swings, right? Swing trading is different from day trading. Swing trading is basically us kind of going and looking for those swings and catching those big pull downs, and then selling at the tops, buying at the bottoms, and catching more coin. That's really the idea behind swing trading from my perspective. Day trading and swing trading, not the same thing, right? I'm looking at things from a bigger perspective. I'm looking for big moves where I can make big money. I'm not looking for these smaller moves where I can go, okay, I go up, I've got another $1,000 on my $20,000. Yeah, that's possible. Like, if you got an X amount of money, these scalps can make you tons of money because you have so much fiat up top. But some people in the market don't have that kind of money. So to tell them that, to go do this and go swing trade this and, day by day, and they're making $10, $20, it's not worth their time a lot of the time. So they're not going to do it. So I'm just being a realist as far as like what you can really accumulate here, because for the people that don't have the fiat to buy in, the accumulation is where you'll make your money, right? You make more and more accumulation, no money needed, just going, exiting at the right positions, entering at the right positions, and getting more coin. That's all it is at the end of the day. So bear side, accumulation, as far as selling your tops, buying your bottoms, and then bull side, sell, all the way to the top. That's basically how it should be run, right? I made the mistake during this market and bought too much when I was on the other side, and really I should have been the one selling. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as market conditions, as far as what I'm seeing. Again, I'm a coach with Alex Orenjo and the fundamentals group that he runs. I think what he does is really awesome. We do a lot of work in there to make sure that everybody's up to date with the latest news. They usually get the news before anybody else does. We do share it out here with you guys, but those guys are the ones that get it first, obviously, because they're the ones that are there, for the long haul. It was great talking to you guys. Really appreciate your time. Hopefully next time, we end up with better news. But for right now, the best thing to do is to keep it real at the end of the day. All right. Thanks. See ya.